Hey guys, so this is part 2 of my personal experience of what caused me to not dabble into demonology, anything of the occult, witchcraft, any of that. If you guys dabble into that, good for you, whatever, I really don't care. But this is my own personal experience and let's get into it. So after my stereo turned on by itself, something freakier happened. It's like it just couldn't stop there. So this was around 2 in the morning and I was like, okay, I'm not going to sleep. Something turned on my stereo, but maybe it was a power surge, maybe something, like all like the silly things you try to do to gaslight yourself into thinking that something crazy didn't just happen. So I turn on my TV to kind of like listen to infomercials and stuff so that way I can go to sleep and I won't feel so alone, because I did not trust my nightlight at the time, because if you remember from my first video, I actually, my nightlight flickered and it scared the crap out of me. So I did not want to use a nightlight. So I turned on the TV and I wasn't really engaged because honestly, I felt super uneasy and I felt like somebody was watching me. So I really had to go to sleep because I was in the marching band at the time and I really had to get my rest because I had to be up like at 5 to get to practice at 6:30. And I always just woke up at 5. I don't know. I just couldn't really, I didn't like to wake up at 5:30. I always woke up at 5. And I had to go to sleep and it was around 3 o'clock a.m. So I'm like, I really have to go to sleep and I was getting really annoyed. So I decided to just turn around and try to get my rest. Now, the way my room was structured was, let's say, this is the room. Sorry, this is dirty. My bed was here next to the wall. And let's say my TV was here. Okay, whatever. I don't know. My TV was here. This was my bed next to the wall. So I got up and I propped my elbow on my bed and I was fluffing my pillows facing the wall. Now remember, the TV's behind me now and the glare is creating a shadow. I can see my shadow. My shadow should be of a silhouette of a woman, me, or a girl at the time, propping myself up at an angle to fix my pillows. So here's where it gets freaky. As I'm propping my pillows, I see a silhouette of a person I thought was a woman with like, okay, I could see like the head, the hair, and then the shoulders, standing upright. I was so tired for whatever reason. I thought I was seeing me. So I thought like, oh, that's me. And then it registered, wait, my silhouette is angled down. So then who is this standing behind me? I whipped my head around so quick to look at who the hell was there. Nobody was there. Nobody was there. Yo, when I tell you I jumped out of my bed so quick after that, it was done. It was done. I was ready to move out. I was ready to tell my parents I'm leaving. I'm gonna go stay with my grandma. I'm gonna go do something. Like, no. It was done. I was not doing that. When I turned back to my wall to see if maybe I was thinking something, the silhouette wasn't there anymore. Whoever was standing behind me, just like freaky deaky, just like looking at me, wasn't there anymore. They just dipped out. They just said bye. We ain't gonna be there no more. Bye. See ya. You boring as shit. That's what they did. They just said bye. And they left me there to tell the tale, to sound like a crazy person. That's what they did. And I don't appreciate it. I know what I saw. Now, I will say, for being a, don't judge me, I'll clean my brushes today. For being a, like a horror writer and all that, I actually, a lot of things have changed as far as my beliefs in ghosts and stuff like that. I do not believe that there is such a thing as a good ghost or a good spirit. Like, I used to believe that, oh, if something like happened and, oh, maybe it was like, I don't know, like my uncle coming through to say hi or give me a sign, or it was like my friend to like, I don't know, just be there. I don't know. I used to think that. I don't actually believe in a thing such as good ghosts. Now, come for me, I don't care. That's like such a stupid thing to come for me for, but I just don't believe that. I feel that if you've moved on, you've moved on. Go to the afterlife, which I do believe in. Just go. You don't have to partake in the crappy ass things that we do on earth anymore. So, but back in the day, I thought, okay, maybe this was a thing that was just trying to make it known to me. Like, I went through everything. I rationalized everything, you guys. So after that, I really honestly was scared to dabble more into that stuff. I even took out the CD that was in my stereo at the time, and I did not listen to that band anymore. I was honestly so shaken by what that was. I thought that whatever it was going to come back, because you guys have to remember that prior to me seeing that ghost figure, that shadow figure, on my wall, I had things happening, like knockings on the doors. Remember, my stereo turned on by itself, like weird things were starting to happen, but that's not really where it ends. It's not where it ends. I wish it was. For a while after I saw that figure thing, I started to feel really like depressy and stressy for no reason. I mean, I was a high school student, so I don't understand why I started to feel so bad. Now, this could have been attributed to so many things. I was going through puberty. I was a high school student. I did have some issues with some girls at my school. There was a lot of stress, a lot of pressure that I put on myself to be accepted by, people and fit in with a certain crowd, and everything that like teenagers go through. I felt like I was going through it tenfold. I didn't really attribute it to what had happened, but I did notice that when I would get home and I would spend time in my room, it would get worse and worse and worse and worse. Like, I would spend hours in my room, just like back in the day, we didn't have social media to really doom scroll. I think like in high school I had a BlackBerry or something like that. So my equivalent of doom scrolling was actually like doom poetry writing. But guys, I would write some crazy ass poetry. Like, I would write crazy poetry. Like, even though I wasn't dabbling into the literature or the research of demonology and all that, it's like everything that I already absorbed, I started writing about it in my poetry, like telling the weirdest stories. I remember I read like a poem to my mom one time, and she was like, "That's really fucking morbid, Leslie. I don't like it." She was like, "What's going on?" So after feeling depressed for a really long while, I started not sleeping, and that led to a whole mess of other stuff. But that's it for today. Well, guys, stick around for part 3, because it doesn't end there. There's so many things that have happened after this, and some of you might be wondering, do things still happen to me? Stick around, find out. Happy Saturday. God bless.